Hello and welcome to The Wonder Lab. This is your time to settle in, get comfortable, and let the day drift softly away. Tonight's journey will take us into the endless ocean of the cosmos. There is a whisper, a force that cannot be seen, cannot be touched, and yet it moves everything. The galaxies drift upon its tide. The stars are carried by its silent pull, and the universe itself bends to its will. For centuries, humanity believed it understood the heavens. We charted constellations, measured orbits, and named the stars as if they were ours to possess. But beyond the glittering tapestry of light, there's a darkness far greater, not the darkness of emptiness, but of something unseen, dark energy. A phrase born from desperation, from the moment scientists realized that the universe was not slowing down, but accelerating. Something out there was pushing it apart. It was a revelation that shattered everything. The elegant equations of Newton, the cosmic dance of Einstein's relativity, none could explain this invisible force. It was as if the universe itself had grown restless, stretching the fabric of space faster and faster, as though fleeing from something, or chasing something we cannot yet name. We look into the night sky and we think we see eternity. But the light we witness, those ancient fires, they are only half the story. For every atom, every galaxy, every particle of visible matter, there is far more that remains unseen. Roughly 70% of the entire universe is dark energy. Not dark as in evil, but dark as in hidden. A mystery woven into the very geometry of existence. And so began humanity's greatest investigation, to map the shadows that shape reality itself, to trace the fingerprints of a force we cannot measure directly, to look not for the light, but for the absence of it. In the stillness of deep space, the galaxies are not merely drifting, they are accelerating away from one another, like cosmic leaves scattered by an invisible wind. A silent storm no telescope can see, and yet its presence is undeniable. Some say it is a property of space itself, a vacuum energy that grows as the cosmos expands. Others whisper that it may be a new field entirely, a quintessence, an ancient echo of creation that still hums beneath reality. But whatever it is, it does not behave as matter does. It cannot be contained, cannot be seen, cannot be touched. It exists everywhere and nowhere, a ghostly architect shaping the fate of all things. Every galaxy, every star, every atom you have ever known is caught in its grasp. Every heartbeat, every breath happens within a universe governed by something that defies all human comprehension. And yet we seek it. Because to understand dark energy is to understand destiny itself, the destiny of the cosmos, and perhaps the destiny of life within it. For if this mysterious force continues to grow, if it never ceases its push against gravity's embrace, then there will come a time when every galaxy will drift beyond sight, when the stars will fade into isolation, and the universe will become silent once more. A silence not of peace, but of distance. An eternal separation written into the code of the cosmos, but for now, we search, we measure the light of ancient supernovae, trace the ripples of the cosmic microwave background, and listen to the faint echoes of creation, trying to decode the message that space itself is whispering. Dark energy, the silent force between the stars. It hides not in the corners of the universe, but in the very fabric of reality. And though invisible, its shadow defines the shape of everything we see, a fiery heart of the universe's true form. There are moments in science when discovery feels like revelation, when the universe pulls back its veil just enough for us to glimpse the truth and tremble. The discovery of the universe's acceleration was one of those moments. It began not in silence, but in the quiet explosion of light, a dying star. burning brighter than a billion suns, its final breath echoing across billions of years. Astronomers call them Type Ia supernovae, celestial candles scattered across time and space, each one a perfect gauge of cosmic distance. By studying their faint glow, we thought we could measure how fast the universe was slowing down. But when the data came back, it told a different story. The light was dimmer than it should have been. The galaxies farther away than anyone imagined. The universe wasn't slowing down. It was speeding up. In that moment, the laws of the cosmos shifted beneath our feet. The force of gravity, the eternal sculptor of galaxies, was being overpowered by something no one could see. A phantom, expanding the universe itself. We called it dark energy, but the name was just a shadow for our ignorance. We do not know what it is, only that it acts on everything, everywhere, all at once. It stretches reality, silently, relentlessly, pushing galaxies apart like ripples in an ever-widening sea. Imagine this. Space is not empty. Even in the coldest voids where no star has ever shone, space itself hums with invisible energy, a tension woven into the fabric of existence. Every meter of space, no matter how empty, contains a whisper of this hidden force. As the universe grows, so too does this energy. Each new volume of space brings with it more dark energy, fuel for an acceleration that will never end. It is expansion feeding on expansion, creation feeding on its own infinite growth. And in this endless growth lies both wonder and doom. Because if dark energy continues to dominate, if its grip tightens with time, then galaxies will drift beyond sight and every star will fade into eternal distance. The cosmic web will unravel strand by strand until only isolation remains, each island of matter lost in an infinite ocean of nothingness. This is the destiny scientists call the Big Freeze. Not an explosion, not a collapse, but a quiet fading into eternal cold. A universe so vast and empty that no light, no warmth, no memory of creation will remain. And yet, even as we face this chilling vision, the mystery of dark energy burns brighter than ever. It challenges everything we thought we knew about reality. It tells us that the vacuum of space, the thing we once thought of as nothing, is in truth everything. Some theorists suggest it is the cosmological constant, Einstein's old mathematical ghost, a term he once called his greatest blunder. But what if it wasn't a blunder at all? What if, buried in that simple symbol, was the key to understanding the universe's true form? Others imagine dark energy as something alive, a dynamic field, a cosmic heartbeat that changes with time. A whisper from before the Big Bang, a remnant of a primordial force still shaping reality. Whatever it is, it binds the destiny of the cosmos to a future we can barely imagine. A future written not in starlight, but in shadows. Because to understand dark energy is to understand the phantom expansions itself, a quiet rebellion of the universe against its own gravity, an endless widening that will one day stretch the very meaning of existence. And as we stare deeper into the night sky, the question grows louder in our minds, why? Why does the universe want to expand? Why does it run from itself? What secret lies within that relentless acceleration? Perhaps it is not expansion at all. Perhaps it is revelation, the universe revealing its true form, one silent shadow at a time. If the universe is expanding, then something must have started it. If space itself is stretching, then somewhere in the deep past there was a moment when it all began to move. And in that beginning lies the secret of dark energy. 13.8 billion years ago, there was no space, no time, no distance, only a trembling potential, an ocean of pure energy waiting to be born. Then, in an instant beyond comprehension, the universe ignited, not into fire, but into expansion. A surge of creation so vast, so violent, that space itself burst forth faster than light could ever travel. This was the inflationary epoch, the universe's first breath. In those first fleeting fractions of a second, the seeds of everything were planted. Galaxies, stars, and perhaps the hidden signature of dark energy itself. Scientists believe that the same mechanism that drove the Big Bang's expansion may still linger, faint but eternal, a memory of creation still echoing through the fabric of the cosmos. When the inflation slowed, matter formed, gravity awoke, and light finally broke free. But the universe never forgot how to expand. It carried that ancient momentum, that quiet command to keep moving, woven into its very being. And so, billions of years later, that command still whispers in the dark. It whispers through the cosmic background radiation, through the distant drift of galaxies, through the silence between stars. Dark energy. Could it be the last breath of creation still echoing? A remnant of that first explosion, still pushing, still stretching, as if the universe itself can't let go of its own birth? We see hints of it in the faint patterns of the cosmic web, the vast invisible scaffolding upon which galaxies hang like dew on a spider's thread. Each strand is light years thick, and between them lie immense voids, regions so empty they defy imagination. Yet it is in these voids, not in the stars, that the fingerprints of dark energy may be most clearly seen. For it is the empty that moves, the silence that stretches, the unseen that defines the seen. In a sense, dark energy is the ultimate paradox, a force born from emptiness, yet capable of shaping everything. A power that reveals itself not through presence, but through absence. When we observe distant galaxies, we're not just seeing where they are. We're seeing how far they've been pushed by this hidden hand. Every light curve, every redshift, is a trace of an invisible sculptor at work. But there is something even more haunting. As we peer deeper into space, we are also looking further back in time, into the very childhood of the universe. And the further we look, the less influence dark energy seems to have had. It is as though the force is growing stronger with time, as though the universe itself is learning to accelerate, learning to let go of its own gravity. That realization stirs something unsettling. If dark energy grows, what does it grow into? If it expands without end, does it consume everything or reveal something greater? Some cosmologists wonder if what we call dark energy is not a single force at all, but the shadow of higher dimensions, echoes from universes beyond our own, pressing against our cosmic skin. Others imagine it as a mirror, a reflection of our incomplete understanding, a sign that the universe is far deeper and stranger than any human theory can contain. But perhaps the truth is older than all of them. Perhaps dark energy is not something added to the universe, but something that was always there, a hidden harmony that underlies all creation, a silent rhythm in the cosmic symphony. For if light shows us what the universe is, then darkness shows us what it means. Dark energy may not be the end of our knowledge, but the beginning of something vast and sacred, the realization that creation never truly stopped. It only changed form. It became invisible, waiting for us to notice its shadow. The deeper we look into the universe, the more we realize that what we see is only a reflection, a faint outline of something far greater, a shadow of reality painted in light. Every telescope ever built, from Galileo's first glass tube to the massive mirrors orbiting Earth today, has sought to capture that light, to trace the visible universe one photon at a time. But as our maps grew larger, a strange pattern began to emerge. Galaxies were not scattered randomly, but formed intricate webs, filaments and clusters connected like veins in a cosmic body. Between these threads were immense voids, regions almost completely empty, where galaxies are rare and silence reigns. This was the cosmic web, the hidden structure of the universe. And when scientists began to measure how these threads stretched, twisted, and grew over time, they discovered something startling. The web itself was expanding faster than gravity could allow. Something unseen was at work, a subtle pressure inflating the structure of reality. And as the web widened, galaxies drifted apart like dust in a growing storm. The invisible hand of dark energy was mapping the cosmos in its own mysterious geometry. We began to chart it, not with eyes, but with mathematics. Equations became our telescopes. Numbers became our constellations. From the ripples of the cosmic microwave background, those faint afterglows of the Big Bang, to the delicate patterns of baryon acoustic oscillations, we saw the fingerprints of dark energy everywhere. It was as though the universe itself had encoded its expansion in a hidden language, waiting to be read. Every ripple, every fluctuation of temperature across the ancient sky was a clue, a coordinate on the hidden map of the cosmos. We just had to learn how to read it, and yet, as our instruments became more precise, our models more advanced, the mystery deepened. The more accurately we measured the universe's expansion, the more contradictions we found. Two ways of measuring the same thing, and two very different answers. The Hubble tension, they called it, a cosmic disagreement that refuses to vanish. One side says the universe is expanding faster. The other says slower. Both are right, and both are wrong. Could it be that dark energy itself changes over time, not a constant but a living force? Or is our entire picture of space and time only a shadow of something higher, a projection of deeper dimensions beyond human sight? To some scientists, the universe resembles a hologram, a three-dimensional illusion projected from the fabric of information. If so, then dark energy might be the tension between dimensions, a residue of the universe's true form leaking into ours. What we call space may be nothing more than the skin of a deeper reality. And dark energy, the stretching of that skin, if this is true, then every galaxy, every atom, every human thought and heartbeat is part of an unfolding illusion, a reflection cast from a realm beyond understanding. But perhaps that realization should not frighten us. Perhaps it should humble us, because in that illusion, in that fragile light, we find meaning. We find the story of a cosmos that is alive, that breathes through expansion, that dreams through darkness. And when we map the universe, we are not merely charting stars and galaxies. We are tracing the veins of creation, the silent architecture of existence itself. Each measurement we take, each theory we test, is another small act of devotion, an attempt to see the invisible. And though our maps may never reveal every secret, they remind us of something profound, that even in the face of the unknown, we are capable of wonder. For the universe does not ask to be understood. It only asks to be witnessed. And in the witnessing, we become part of its unfolding story. There comes a point in every journey where discovery turns into reflection, where the questions we ask no longer shape the universe, but reveal who we are within it. Dark energy stands as that threshold. It is the edge of what we can know, the veil that separates understanding from awe. We have mapped galaxies across billions of light years, measured the pulse of time itself, and yet this invisible force continues to elude us. It hides not in the stars, but in the spaces between them, in the silence, in the absence, in the places where light does not reach. Some call it a cosmological constant. Others believe it's a dynamic field that evolves with time. But perhaps dark energy is neither a thing nor a force. Perhaps it is the shape of reality itself. Imagine space as an ocean, vast, restless, endless. Gravity pulls the waves together, forming islands of matter, stars, planets, galaxies. But beneath that pull, there is another motion, a current that drifts outward, subtle and eternal. It is not destruction, it is creation. From another angle, for what if dark energy is not pushing the universe apart, but revealing it? What if the expansion is not an escape, but an unfolding, the cosmos stretching open to show its hidden dimensions? Every era of science has its mystery, the question that defines its limits. For Newton, it was gravity. For Einstein, it was space-time. For us, it is the unseen force that drives all becoming, and the more we seek to understand it, the more it reflects our own nature back at us. Because dark energy is not just out there, it is within everything, within the atoms that make our hearts beat, within the thoughts that reach for meaning, within the unspoken longing that drives us to explore. We are, after all, made of the universe, the dust of ancient stars shaped by the same laws, moved by the same forces. To understand the cosmos is to look into our own reflection, cast upon the infinite. Perhaps the reason we cannot grasp dark energy is because we are trying to see it as something separate, something outside ourselves. But what if it is the field that connects everything, the hidden pulse of unity that science can measure, but not yet feel? The expansion of the universe, the acceleration of galaxies, the silent stretching of space. Perhaps it mirrors the expansion of awareness itself, the universe awakening through its own creations. When we gaze into the abyss of deep space, we are not just looking outward. We are looking backward in time and inward into our own origin. Every photon we capture is an ancient memory, a message from a time when nothing yet knew itself. And maybe that's the purpose of life, for the universe to see its own reflection through us, through consciousness, through curiosity, through the act of wonder itself. Because the more we learn about dark energy, the more it begins to resemble something timeless, something spiritual, a cosmic will, not bound by form but expressed through everything that is. The physicist sees a field, the poet sees a soul. The truth may be both, a physics of the sacred. And so we stand here, on a small blue planet, suspended in the dark, listening to the quiet pulse of the cosmos, trying to understand the invisible, trying to map the shadows of creation. We may never find a final answer. Perhaps there isn't one. Perhaps the point was never to solve the mystery, but to live inside it, to feel awe in the unknown, to sense beauty in the infinite, to know that in every direction we look, there is something greater, and it is calling us forward. The universe does not end at the edge of observation. It continues beyond the horizon of understanding, and perhaps so do we. There is a silence deeper than space itself, a stillness that lies beyond the reach of any telescope, beyond the hum of cosmic radiation, beyond even the rhythm of time. It is the silence from which everything was born, and to which everything will one day return. In that silence, dark energy waits, not as an enemy, not as a threat, but as a reminder that creation has no edges. The more we explore, the more we realize. The universe is not expanding into something. It is creating the space into which it expands. Every second, reality is being written, a new page unfolding from an invisible hand. We stand inside a story that is still being told. And dark energy is the ink. The galaxies will continue to drift apart, their light dimming across the endless night. Future astronomers, millions of years from now, may look into the sky and see nothing but blackness. No stars, no clusters, no trace of the grand design, yet even then the universe will still be alive, still expanding, still humming its quiet infinite song, because the end is not a void. It is a continuation beyond sight. The big freeze, the fading of starlight, these are not endings, but transformations, the universe changing its shape, becoming something new, something we cannot yet imagine. Perhaps, in some unfathomable future, dark energy will give birth to another beginning, a rebirth from silence, a new spark of creation rising from the ashes of expansion, a cosmic heartbeat restarting once more, or perhaps this is the point. Perhaps eternity is not a cycle, but a constant unfolding, a universe forever discovering itself, and in that endless discovery, life appears, brief, fragile, luminous. We, tiny beings of dust and thought, dare to ask questions of infinity. We dare to name the darkness, to measure the unmeasurable, to whisper into the void and listen for an answer. That courage, that curiosity, is the most beautiful thing the universe has ever made. We are, in a sense, the universe becoming aware of itself. Dark energy moves the galaxies, but curiosity moves the soul. And perhaps the two are not so different, because the same unknown that fuels expansion also fuels wonder. The same mystery that bends light around black holes bends our hearts toward meaning. We are made of stardust, but we are also made of questions. To map dark energy's shadows is to trace the outline of the infinite, to feel for a moment the touch of something vast and eternal. And maybe that is enough, not to solve the mystery, but to stand within it. In awe, in reverence, in silence, look up. Every point of light, every space between, is part of one grand design. Every shadow hides a truth. Every distance whispers a connection. The universe is not a place we live in. It is a story we are still becoming, and perhaps, when the last star fades, when the last photon drifts into the dark, something will remain, a memory, a pulse, a thought, the echo of consciousness, carried on the wave of creation. That echo will be the universe's final whisper to itself, and it will say, I was everything. I am everything. I will be everything again. This is the shape of the infinite. Not a circle, not a line, but a song, endless, unseen, eternal, and within that song our small voices still sing.